Sorry about that, guys. So we're back. So I changed it because I'm just hanging out with my brother here, but I didn't know we were going to talk about business, so we might as well just talk about business. Okay. Regardless of what's going on, I'm gonna wait real quick for people to jump on, and so we'll wait real quick. In the meantime, this is Jenna's brother. Um,
What's up?
Look how handsome this man is.
Oh, please.
Look at me. You guys can hear that? And look at him. So he got it going on. We're going to wait for a couple people to jump on before we start. So
Look at that guy.
we're watching. What are we watching right now? Practical Jokesters or something?
Practical Jokers.
Oh, yeah, they're funny. See, that's what I should be doing.
I know, dude.
Right? If I be doing that, then I'm going to get more. I'm going to wait for a couple people to jump on before we start this because, I was just going to hang out and talk with my brother and just introduce. But I want to, just have a few people on before we start. Class A, welcome, welcome. We'll answer your questions in a little bit. All I have to say is this is a brother of mine, so everything that he's saying it's going to be true, and everything that he's saying is basically is the truth. It's not me pretending to interview someone for endorsements or anything like that. We're just hanging out. You know what I mean? But yeah, no, we'll answer all the questions in a second. I'm gonna ask him because I'm actually curious. 510, what's going on, man?
Try my best.
I trust this guy, but we need to ask him the right questions to make sure that we're getting what we need out of it.
Yep.
You know what I mean? He's not in his suit and tie today, but he's usually in a suit and tie, So
Fire away.
all right. So first off, so we know how trustworthy he is. This is basically a family member of Jenna's. As you know, Jenna, she is the love of my life, and this is her family right here, and this is out in Sacramento. So to begin it shortly, introduce yourself, Mr. K. Let people know basically what your job title is and what you actually do, even though you're hanging at home kind of in your boxers.
So I'm a assistant controller for a Sacramento company. We are a management company. The owner owns a lot of different organizations, businesses.
Tell them what the owner owns.
He owns car dealerships, commercial property, apartment complexes, and a leasing company because they used to own all of the auto dealers here in Sacramento, and they did a lot of their own financing. But because of a lot of the manufacturers, they've taken over their own, or they do their own financing now. That portion has kind of died down, but they kind of kept their leasing or their financing in trucking and equipment. So that's something that I manage as well.
So my question to you now, Mr. K.
Yep.
Do my guys get the family deal if they want to play, or how would that work? Does it help that we know you, or does it not really help?
No, not really, because we look at everyone and their portfolio. We look at their business individually, as long as it pertains to our credit criteria. But we are a family-oriented type of company, where we understand the different situations of everyone. Not two customers are alike or clients are alike. So we look at the story that they tell us. For example, if you are new to the business, we understand that you're not going to have 2 years of experience like banks usually require. As long as you show steady income that you're getting, or if you have a hauling reference, then we usually look at that. And if you can tell us a story why we should lease or lend to you, then we look at it that way.
Quick question then.
Mm-hmm.
What is the lowest or the minimum amount of work history as a trucker, or what have you guys leased out to a person?
I've seen it where they had no experience at all.
So
Zero experience, but they had great credit and they had a steady stream of income.
And what was their steady stream of income from not having any experience at all?
They just jumped on and they for a few months they had hauling reference.
So
So
basically, so check this out, guys. Mr. K here, which is a brother of mine, he's saying for the ones that just hopped on, he's seen it in the books. Someone that recently jumped on what 2 or 3 months, and they were able to start their own owner op, get their own business, and start going off for 2 to 3 months. And their place, they financed the deal. Now here's the thing: there's a trucking big company called Schneider. Now the thing about it is the company called Schneider and the Schneider that he works for
it's different.
are two different places. So the Schneider that they're talking about is the trucking company Schneider, and yours, is it spelled different as well?
Snider, Snyder Leasing.
So Snider. So it's not Schneider with the S
CHI.
C H I. So it's Snyder. But the thing is they're a private bank. He's a controller for that bank.
Leasing company or management company.
Yeah. So he's very humble, but he's a controller, and basically when anyone wants to lease any of their equipment, they basically have to go through him. And the story that they tell, is it mostly going to be to you?
If it gets to our level, yes. Like if it's around a certain dollar amount,
Right.
it requires approval from us, or if they have limited trucking experience or business experience, it comes to us. Also, if their FICO isn't above 600, it comes to our office.
So if I actually personally know somebody that's on my channel, and I actually give them an endorsement, like a real endorsement, but it's someone that I physically know and I know how they're doing, that would be something that you would take into consideration, Kay?
Yeah.
You hear that, guys? So I'm telling you, man. So, you guys that have been watching the channel, knowing people is kind of half the battle sometimes. But I'll be honest, this is my brother. So, if you have zero experience, I'm going to have to let him know you have zero experience. But if I see you on the road, I see you making videos, we talk all the time. We talk, and I know that you've been doing this and you have 3 or 4 months experience. You can start doing your thing.
Yep.
So don't let credit, don't let, excuses, you know, be a reason why you don't do this. And I'm not telling you to lease. I'm not telling you to buy, but I'll tell you what, not everybody got $30,000 to start their own business. Sometimes you just got to jump in. So that's up to you if you want to do that. You have to have a great idea, and if you have one, sometimes you just need the other half, which is him, to get a truck. Now, one of the guys, what they're asking right now is what year of trucks are in stock, because you said there's 30 trucks.
It ranges. I saw, because I don't deal with it on a daily basis.
Right.
I only look at it from monthly reports. We have Peterbilt's, Volvo, I think 2012, 2013. Some internationals, but usually those are not that great.
Right.
We have a little wide range of everything. We have 30 in our inventory.
And are they all California compliant?
Yep.
So they're all at least 2007 and higher. So if they're leasing like something that is like a 2008, right?
Mm-hmm.
Usually, what have you seen the monthly payments be for that lease?
It depends on the value of it. The ones that I've seen about $1,000, but like I said, it's all dependent on the value of the truck.
The value of the truck, right?
Yeah, because
So-
I've seen some that's 20,000. Seen some the Peterbilt ones like 100 and something thousand.
Right. As far as the money
Yeah,
value
so
of the
it
truck.
ranges. So if it's lower, the lower the truck, of course, the lower your payment and so forth.
So on the higher end, one of the newer trucks, what kind of payment have you seen?
A couple thousand.
So $2,000 for a newer truck, 2015, 16, or what have you. And then, of course, when it goes lower, you're looking at, $1,000 to, what have you. So this is definitely an opportunity. I mean, my man here, Mr. K here, he's he's not endorsing his company or anything. I just thought we'd go live real quick and kind of talk about this just because well, he's off work right now. He has the opportunity to talk. Usually when I want to call him, I got to call like receptionists and I got to call like 10 people just to get to this guy. But the personal banking he does, I'm telling you right now, this guy owns like the owner of the company owns like every car dealership land. Like he's the king of the dealerships. This was this guy like a billionaire practically, man.
He's pretty well known in Sacramento.
So you're gonna know the inventory is good. It basically when you're borrowing, it's a strong place.
Yeah.
So
They've been around for 60 years, a family-run company.
a Snyder SNIDER.com.
Yep. SnyderLeasing.com.
So SNIDER leasing.com. So SnyderLeasing.com. Now I know there's a lot of people that tell you don't lease. They tell you to buy. They tell you just jump in and spend $40,000 of your hard-earned money. But sometimes you don't have that kind of money. So I'm not here to judge anyone. But if you have a good idea, if you have a great company that that's gonna make it, and you just need a truck to get by, and you don't have 20 G's, you can see my brother here, and my brother will get you set up. Now, are their interests gonna be through the roof if they don't have a lot of experience, or if they have like decent credit to, is how are you guys really? I mean,
it's competitive. It ranges from what I've seen, 12%, 15%,
okay.
up to 18, 19%.
So basically, if you guys don't have any experience at all, you could still get basically a decent rate.
Mm-hmm.
Because 15%, that's what owner operators pay.
Yeah.
I've seen owner operators pay 12 to 15% buying their own rig. So when you're leasing it, and this is with no money down. So just because they're putting no money down, that doesn't mean that their rates are going to be higher.
But the no money down is only if they're leasing the inventory that we have.
That's right. So currently they have 30 trucks, and it's only no money down if you lease one of their trucks.
If you're leasing, if you go find something from Peterbilt or who do you use, Rush or whatever?
Right. Then you're gonna have to, of course, have money down, 10%.
Mm-hmm.
Or what's your minimum?
It depends on their whole picture. I've seen it up to 20%, 10%, but if they have a solid credit, if they have higher income, then the chances or if it's a brand new truck, then of course the down payment will be a little higher. But if it's an older truck, lower cost, they have great credit, sufficient income coming in, then the down payment of course will be a little lower.
So overall, have you ever seen someone that jumped on with barely any experience? If they're serious about it, you guys always work something out with them?
Yeah.
So my guy 510 said, so hypothetically speaking, I can go and buy off the lot a 2010, 2012 truck for about $25,000, $30,000, with about $600,000 on the odometer. Would you say it is best to buy older and fix up or newer with warranty?
We don't do warranty.
Because they're older trucks, right?
Yep.
You deal specifically just with leasing, right?
Yep.
So
The dollar amount, I don't know off the top of my head. I don't know if you would between 30 for that year. I don't know.
I'm gonna tell you this right now, and this is my truth. I went and I bought an older truck. At the time, I bought an International 2010. Okay, like 3 years ago, and it cost about $65,000.
Yeah.
Okay, and it had 500,000 miles on it. Okay, here's the thing. When I basically most people by the time they paid off, the truck's almost at 1,000,000 miles. Now, when the truck's almost at 1,000,000 miles, yes, you can rebuild the engine, but let's be honest, that's not the only thing that needs to be rebuilding.
Yeah.
Things go bad. The frame goes bad.
Tires.
The tires go bad. The brakes go bad. I mean, there's so many things that you're actually not rebuilding. Yes, you can rebuild a new engine, but the rest of your truck has 1,000,000 miles on it. So I'm going to be honest with you. Trucks are only good, especially if you're running hard, for about These days, especially with all these new, DPF filters and all that, the trucks they don't run as good as they used to. So I'm seeing trucks that break down after 600,000 miles now. My truck had a major breakdown. I cracked the head on it, you
What
know,
kind of engine did you have?
Cummings. But the thing about it is, after 5 years, you're basically gonna need a new truck. So my truck's paid off, but once I get to almost 800,000 miles, I might need a new truck. So you have to do what works for you. So basically, what you're doing when you buy a truck is you're working to pay off the truck, and once you finally pay it off in 5, 6 years, you almost need a new truck. I mean, that's just my own personal experience, but still, in the moving business, I make a certain amount of money where when I buy the truck, I practically almost pay it off already. So I almost start making money essentially right away. But for the normal or the norm, you buy a truck or you lease a truck, let's be honest, after 5, 6 years, 7 years, once you get to that 5, 6, 700, 800,000 miles, you're gonna need a new truck. So 2 years from now, I'm gonna have to buy another truck. But what
I
I,
saw a report today. The hauls that people are doing, or all of the truckers, it's a trend. It's going back up. Because I remember it came down for a while, right? Like
right.
this last year, all of the jobs have decreased as far as people getting paid, but it's gradually going back up.
So you're seeing that from the reports.
Yep.
So I mean, do what works for you, but overall, if you don't have the money to buy, I will not let this guy rip you.
Of course not.
This is a genuine and honest guy. If you have the experience, but you don't have the truck, I'll make sure that this guy gives you a good deal. If you guys are more interested in this, let me know. Jump on Greenhorn Truckers, and I'll reach out to my guy here, and then you guys could just talk. Because usually when he's at work, he's a controller of the company, so you gotta talk to a receptionist, and you don't get a chance to hang out with him like this. You know what I mean? But overall, man, it's up to you. I don't recommend. I'm telling you myself now. I do not recommend if you have zero experience to go buy a truck or lease a truck. Mr. K here says people have done it,
Yeah.
but I don't recommend that.
But if you already hauling stuff and you want to go and be your own owner,
Right?
that's a good option.
Yeah. Sometimes all you want is freedom to dispatch your own loads. Freedom to go where you want to go. But hey, man, this is just an option here. This is Mr. K. He works for Snyder, SNIDER, leasing.com. I have his personal phone number. He's a family member, so, I'm not going to let him do you guys wrong. But, it's just one of those things. What's up, Steven? You're getting at the end of this vlog. But I want to open up, real quick. Now, the people that have been leasing after the lease agreement's over, tell them, do people just give the truck back, or what are they doing?
People usually buy it more than 85 to 90%, 80 to 90% of the people buy it because they have a residual value, which is, I think, usually 10 or 5% of the value of the whole truck, and they have that option to buy it.
So explain that in layman terms, just in case, you know what I mean?
The option to buy is usually not a lot. It's like a percentage of the truck from the beginning.
So you're not killing these people on this truck?
No. If you look at the contract, before you even start the lease, it's totally broken down for you. This is the value at the end. You can choose to give it back to us and not pay it, or you can just pay that percentage and keep it at the end of the day.
Okay, so if we're talking like housing, right? This is like a rent-to-own situation, right?
Yep.
So this is a leasing with the opportunity to buy.
Yep, man.
So just say, for example, how much interest are you basically paying more for the lease option?
You're not really paying any more than... It's the same thing as financing. But in this case, it doesn't show in your books. If you know a little bit of accounting, if you are leasing a liability, you technically don't own it. So it's not going to show on your books. It's not going to show on your financials. So if you wanted to buy other assets, or if you want to buy a home, then that $2,000 payment doesn't show against your income.
That could have helped me a lot because as an owner operator, man, when you're showing those monthly payments, when you're making those monthly payments, you can't buy shit. You can't go buy a house. You can't buy a car. You can't buy nothing because that payment's almost as big as a mortgage.
Yep.
So now you're paying two mortgages, the house that you're living at and your truck. So definitely your income to debt ratio is all messed up.
Not only that, for us, because we're family owned, we kind of write our own credit policy. I've seen people who don't really report their income. Of course, they don't want to report that income to the IRS or for whatever reason you may have. As long as we see that income coming in their accounts, we can take that into consideration and use that as their income rather than requesting 2 years of tax returns. Of course, we would like it in your tax returns, but we understand in this industry, people just want to put their money away, and we take that into consideration.
So, man, overall, man, basically, if you guys don't have the normal path of showing your 1099, your W-2s, and you just have money coming in the bank, my guy here, Mr. K, can help you. And it's really not a leasing it's more of a you're financing it until at the end you buy it. You're basically financing it with a little bit more interest. Right? Yeah. And the interest level is pretty low, right?
I think the interest is comparable to financing. It's the same.
So basically, leasing theirs, and at the end with the option to buy, Mr. K here is saying that the financing, when you finance an owner-operator truck, it's very comparable. Yep. So at the end of the day, what we keep on saying, no money down for a leasing option, it's really no money down to buy your own truck. So, hey, it's a way, man. So, take it or leave it. But at the end of this, jump on Snyder. It's SNIDER leasing.com. And you'll be good to go. Oh, my truck's fine. It's I cracked the head on it like 2 years ago and it cost me like $40,000. So, I'm just saying, shit happens. Now, here's the thing, though. When you're leasing their truck and something breaks down on their truck, do they have to pay it? Mm-hmm. So they basically, it's literally like financing it.
But I've seen instances where some of the truckers who are leasing with us, they don't have the capital to fix or do the repairs. You
bankroll them?
Kind of like that. We relook at it and then include that the repair cost
within the lease.
The loan and redo that lease.
So they're not going in the red so fast. Yep. So you give them an opportunity to succeed. Yep. Because this is a family-owned business.
Yep.
They want you to succeed.
Yep.
These guys are already rich, man. So they're just trying to do good business practice, right? So overall, before I jump off of this, is there any questions that you might have for Mr. K so that you don't actually have to go to SnyderLeasing.com? You don't have to call them up. I have the controller of the company right here. He's chilling, naked. So let me know, guys. I'll leave this up for 2 more minutes if anyone has any questions because I know that my connection's whack. Hey, what's going on, Josh?
What's up, man?
So first question. You need another driver man or a helper? I'm on YouTube Live. You know what? Actually, in a couple months, I might need another driver. And I might pay $4,000 to $5,000 a month.
It's alright. I'm about to quit my job too.
So I'm being honest. I'm thinking about hiring another driver, and pay like $1,200 a week. It's not the best pay, but all you gotta do is drive. You don't gotta lift no furniture. Cool. Very good. Very good. Vic Med said that you answer all his questions.
Just like that, huh?
Yep.
Glad I was able to help.
So what year truck you need? What do you mean what year truck you need?
Doesn't matter. What do you mean? What truck do you want?
what year truck you need. What do you mean for California or for
You
California?
just have to have the filter.
Yeah, as long as you have the DPF filter, you're good to go. Good info from Mr. K. He sounds like my CPA, gives all good answers. Oh, no. I was just gonna say that's what I'm gonna pay for you to drive with me. I need a guy. I'm thinking about going doubles, not double trailer, but I drive solo now, but I'm thinking about getting another driver so I can do more jobs. Yep, Kappa Zone 2 says good advice. Thanks for the info,
You're welcome.
bro. How long does it take to become a driver? Basically, you just get your CDL from your school, and after that, you could go work for a company. And mostly it's the Schneiders, it's the Knights, it's the New Englands. It's all the ones that are big corporate. They treat you like a freaking number, but you do your 1 to 2 years, and you get the hell out. Here's the cool part: you could do your 1 year, then you could go see this guy, and he could get you into a truck if you really need it. Oh, here's a question. Maybe you'll know it, maybe you don't. Does he know if the DPF filter is staying or is it going out?
I don't think it would ever go away. Not in California, at least.
So you're looking at your reports, everything, they're
Yeah.
definitely. So from his reports that he's seeing, it seems like they're going to keep on with this DPF filter, Vic. Yeah, let me know. Any more questions? Anything that you could think of that would be interesting for these guys to know overall?
Stay away from max force engines.
So,
We've seen a lot of leases returning their trucks because of those engines, because they're very bad engines.
so that's a big tip.
Yep.
So if you guys are buying a truck or leasing a truck, this guy sees all the reports as a controller, and he's saying that definitely max force engines are definitely garbage.
Plus
DPF or DF staying. So DPF definitely not, or DPF is staying.
Yeah.
But how about the DEF thing?
Which one's a DEF?
Or basically, see, this guy is a accountant. He doesn't know about trunking. He just knows the reports and what he can do for you. Yes, sir. Oh, you're welcome, brother. So what we're doing now is we basically have a controller of a big equipment leasing company. Usually you gotta go through emails and talk to this guy, talk to his receptionist, talk to his receptionist. But he's here right now, just chilling in some boxers, So
Caught me at a good time.
yeah, man, this guy's so busy, But as far as family goes, he has to talk to me, man. Basically, from what you see, what's the best brand truck and engine as far as when they're leasing? What engine or what truck have you seen not come back as much?
Peterbilts are always good, and Volvos are really good. But
So
Peterbilt, I think it's like the Cadillacs of cars.
right, and
trucks.
so every time they lease those, you don't see too many problems.
Nope.
Now the Volvo, are you saying the Volvo engine or Volvo with the Cummins?
Volvo trucks. The manufacturer.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So he hasn't seen too many Volvo trucks go by. That's interesting because I hate that motor. Yep, that's why I say Cummins or Detroit. FTW. That's how I feel too. So yeah, he's saying cool ass info. Thanks for putting this out. Thanks for sharing, Mr. K.
Yep, you're welcome.
So man, this guy's crazy, man. So basically I got the hookup right now. So if you guys, literally he just told me, if you guys have zero experience, if you have zero experience and you want to buy a truck, and that's something that you want to do because you crazy as hell, and I don't freaking recommend that, you could go to this guy and he'll finance a truck for you, man. And basically, yes, it's leasing. But at the end of the lease, it's in the contract. The actual contract shows that buying after is so low of an amount that over 90% of the people that lease through this personal bank, they buy the truck. Not a lot of people get this connection, man. So, I've just put it out there. The thing is I've known him before he became a controller for this equipment trucking leasing company. So it's different, you know what I mean? When you know somebody and that you know them for who they are before they make it to the top, and this is a humble dude right here. But what up, Bear Burns? What up, James? So overall, man, basically all I'm talking about for the people that are just jumping on, if you have zero experience, this guy will finance a truck for you. You know? So, I mean, I'm not saying to do it, but this is the guy to do it. So, DM me, man. Hit me on my DMs on my Greenhorn Truckers. And I can link you if you really want it. But again, I appreciate that, man. But again, let me see who said that. Mike Jamber, Paccio, shout out real quick. But overall, it's like, man, yeah, I never met a guy like this guy that would basically rent you or lease you or finance you equipment like trucks or trailers. And what else? Farming equipment as well?
Title equipment, dental stuff, X-ray machines, you name it. We look at everything individually. We don't shy away from stuff. If it makes sense to us, then we release it.
So check this out. If you got no credit, you got bad credit, you got no experience, you got experience. You just woke up today and you said, I want to buy a truck. This guy will actually do it for you. But for him to endorse you, I got to endorse you. So that means just jump on my Greenhorn Truckers. Talk to me first. Okay? So I don't have an IG, I apologize. But jump on my Greenhorn Truckers. Talk to me first. Let me really get a hold and know what you really need before we talk to this guy. Because right now he's at home and he's yawning. But usually he's in a suit and tie. So I don't want to really waste my brother's time.
It's not a waste of time.
Nah, thank you, Mr. K. But still, I don't want to waste anyone's time if I find out that people aren't serious. Because what you said the least amount of experience you guys got someone into a truck was about 2 months.
Yeah, as long as they can show, like I said, of course we have a credit criteria. They just have to have sufficient income or show us a hauling reference. Of course, they have to have good credit. But just like I was saying earlier, everyone has a story to tell. If your story adds up, you can show steady income, show us where you're going, show us, when I'm saying going, with showing us your experience or your hauling reference, that you have a substantial steady of income coming in, then we look at it that way. We're not as strict or frigid as normal banks, because we understand people have different stories.
Man, see, I like that, man. So no more excuses, guys. If you got bad credit, no experience, it don't matter. Snyder is not Schneider, okay? Snyder as in SNIDER, leasing.com, or you guys just hit me up. All right, you hit me up, we can help you out. But this guy will not do you wrong. This is a religious man here. He's a humble man. What he's about is helping people. Usually he doesn't just reach out, but because we're brothers, he's willing to help me out today. Let me interview him while he's just wanting to chill and not really do this. Look at that. You already know smart guys. They just look smart even when they're just chilling, man. Look at this guy. But, all right, man. Hit me up on Greenhorn Truckers. And I'll get at you guys. Bear Burns, what's the interest rate real quick?
It depends. It ranges from, I've seen it 12 to 18, 19%.
Now, usually when people are just buying trucks, what's the range for interest rates already?
I don't know. Banks usually charge about the same.
So, I don't want to bust this guy out, but he's a controller for this company. But before that, he was actually a store manager for, what were you a store manager for?
U.S. Bank.
So he was a store manager for U.S. Bank.
Bank manager.
So he was a bank manager, and now he's a controller of a big company. So it's one of those things where You're not just talking to a guy that is a controller for a trucking trailer company. You're talking to a guy that used to be a bank manager for US Bank. So he's telling you with all his experience, this isn't something that he just learned. He knows that normal banks like Wells Fargo, US Bank, Chase, he knows they can't give you a truck. No way in hell with no experience, right?
With banks, trucking is considered a what do you call it? What was the term they used? High risk type of
Definitely high
industry.
risk.
So they usually stay away from trucks, not unless you're bringing in millions and millions. But trucking is very high risk, so banks usually don't even look at you.
So there we
When I
go,
worked
guys.
when I worked at the bank, we did not do any financing, or with U.S. Bank at least, they did not want any of that in a portfolio.
So can you guarantee me right now that if these guys are serious and they have some sort of track record and they really want to do this, you could get them into a truck?
I can't guarantee it, but I will look at it.
All right. You heard that. Hey, I tried, guys. I tried to hold them to this, but I can't. So, you know. But overall, guys, hey, for everyone that missed the video, this is Mr. K. He works at SnyderLeasing.com, SNIDER leasing.com. He'll get you into a truck. You don't need experience. You don't need to know how to freaking drive a truck. You don't need to know anything. What you need to have is passion, drive, motivation, and actually show history that you're trying to do something. So overall, hit me up on Greenhorn Truckers. I'll have the link down here. And you could actually talk to this guy through me. And that's it, man. Peace out. Appreciate you guys.
Good night.